Okay guys, good afternoon. Yes, it is Sunday, but we have got the MRC rookies that was taking part on Friday evening. I'm your host for today, just bringing you the live action replay, as I should say. I believe it will be here. And it will have, basically, the first race will be Dragon Trails Gardens, which is race 7, and then we will feature round 8, which is on the Seaside. So yes, it is the MRC Gran Turismo Touring Car Championship, the rookies lobby. So as I say, I'm your host Hoppers, and I will go through the grid, and then we'll get ready for a start of basically GR4 Aston Martins here at Dragon Trails Gardens on the reverse circuit. And I do love this circuit. I've actually commentated on this circuit before, but yes, I am new to the MRC commentary booth. So sit back, grab a drink, grab something to eat, you name it, and enjoy the stream. So as I say, I'm not new to commentary, but I'm new to the MRC league, doing their rookie league commentary. So I'll go through the grid for race 1, and then we will get ready for a start. So in first place on pole position is none other than Danny Ogston. I believe that is pronounced correctly. Then alongside him is Les Pants. Then you have Faster JMS in the beautiful Michelin livery. Then you have DRC Craig P in the Monster Energy, followed by Dudez CF14. I'm not too sure what he's running, but I know it's an Aston Martin. But then you have Next Gen Danzor, and then you have CRL Craden, and then Broken Legacy, followed by Percy and myself. Yes, I took myself into this league, but we won't be concentrating on much of me. You have Waxer, then you have Ket, and then you have rounding up the field is none other than the host for the rookies is Seamus Oridian. So we'll get ready for start. We'll go at the front, and we will see what the action from Dragon Trails Garden is all about. Qualifying for this was done during a 16.5 minute lap test session, and potentially be amazing. I don't know whether just bear with 1 second, just to see what is going on. So as I say, we are going to get ready for a start, and it will be potentially interesting. As I say, it was a 16.5 minute practice session, but it was counting towards qualifying, and it is a standing start, and obviously it is a 30-minute race, so let's get going. So we are about to get to start. We're just waiting for everyone to form into grid positions, and we are getting ready. The revs are building, and we're about to get ready for 30 minutes here at Dragon Trail Garden. And Danny Ogston gets a good start. Les Pants joins him alongside. You've got Faster JMS trying to make a move on Les Pants into turn number 1 there. You've even got 2 cars run wide, so Faster JMS and Les Pants, as Broken Legacy loses control on the exit of turn number 1 up at the back of the field. I believe Broken Legacy is struggling at the moment. Slow Seamus gets past him there. Percy is also up. I believe Waxer and of course Ket have a bit of issues going into the second corner there, so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens, whether Waxer and of course Ket can keep up. But we got Broken Legacy from Percy from Slow Seamus, as myself gets overtaken by Slow Seamus going into the Seaside hairpin, which ducks onto the Seaside as Percy tries to make a move as well. But at the moment this is going to be very interesting. You've got a 3-car battle between Craden, Les Pants and Dunzor potentially for 5th, 6th and 7th, and it is going to be amazing to see what we can do. I'm not too sure how, if Craydon makes a move, as he does going into this chicane, as I name it the gooseneck, as because there's no fictional circuit, well, it's a fictional circuit, but Craydon gets through into 6th place, as we can see here at the moment. He's now going to be chasing onto the back of Dunzor's. Les Pants gets a bit wide going out on the final turn there, but I believe up at the moment you've got Les Pants trying to make a move on Craydon for potentially 6th place. Is he going to make the move into turn number 1? Yes, he does. He makes the move. Slow Seamus gets a bit nearly gets into the back of Craydon there, but we'll see what's going on further up the field. You've got Faster JMS trying to latch onto the back of Craig in the Monster Energy, so the Michelin versus the Monster Energy. I believe Duds is straight up into 2nd. There's a lot of tyre squeal, but there is a lot of action as we see. I believe that was Craydon making a mistake. We'll try and go back to that if we can. Just seeing what happens. He runs a bit wide and he spins out there. So Seamus gets through. You've got Percy in obviously potentially 8th place. You've got Hoppers WWFC 89 in 9th, and then you've got Bloken Legacy trying to chase him down in the quick fit Aston Martin. So the cars are quite quick, so at the moment trying to chase down, but you've got obviously Waxer and I believe Les Pants run a bit wide and touched the wall there. So that's dropped him down into potentially 10th place. You've got Broken Legacy trying to make a move on Hopper's WWFC 89 there, and obviously trying to bring the Aston Martin alongside, but Hoppers isn't going to give up. He's going to try and make a move going into the next chicane, but at the moment Broken Legacy has now broken the toe there, but Hoppers isn't giving up at the moment. But he's going to be, he's chasing down very well, but Percy is still out in 7th, and obviously Waxer is still in 11th. Show Slamish, there's a yellow flag. Not too sure what that was, but Craig ran a bit wide, I believe, and he went into the wall. But yes, this is going to be very exciting, so that's allowed Hoppers up into 8th place. Craig is struggling at the moment, so Hoppers in 8th place, trying to chase down Broken Legacy. And I believe Faster JMS rather has got past Dunzo, and Danny Ogston is dropped down to 4th place at the moment, but we'll see what is going to go on. But as I say, it's going to be very interesting going into the fight between obviously Duds and Faster JMS. Both the Michelin cars no, he's not a Michelin car, sorry. That is, it's because obviously with it being blue, but I believe Duds and Faster JMS will potentially, as Faster JMS makes the move into the Seaside hairpin, but Duds thinks none of it, closes the door, which next gen Danzor is going to be launching onto the back of these guys. I believe Danny Austin will also try and take potentially 3rd place or potentially a 1st place if these guys slow each other up. It is going to be potentially interesting as Faster JMS tries to open the door, and as you can see, Danny Austin and next gen Danzo is going to be launching into the back of these guys. As you can see, Slow Seamus at the moment is going to be latching onto the back of these guys as well. You've got Broken Legacy trying to chase down Percy now for potentially 6th place. You've got Craig finally got past Hoppers going into the final turn, but Hoppers is trying to close the gap and trying to make another move. He's getting into the slipstream slowly but surely, and it will be very interesting to see what these two can do. Hoppers is trying to go on the inside of Craig into turn number 1. But Hoppers nearly outbreaks himself, but he runs a bit wide going into that entry. You've got Les Pants followed by Craydon and Waxter. Unfortunately, Ket is in pit lane. I don't know whether he's had a mechanical issue or not, but it is going to be very exciting as we can see. So it will be potentially proper interesting as we go through at the moment. But yes, it is going to be potentially one of them. As you can tell, Les Pants there is trying to latch onto the back of Hoppers there into potentially 9th place. Craig drops the wheel, so does Craydon on the exit of that turn there. So you've got Hoppers chasing down Craig at the moment. You've got Broken Legacy and Percy still battling, but in the background you've still got Craig and Hoppers battling for 9th and 8th. But it will be very interesting as we go back up towards the front. There's a bit of a battle between Faster JMS and Danzo, and of course Duds, and of course Danny Oxton's got back up into the lead. But you know, this is going to be fantastic stuff. You know, Slow Seamus is trying to catch up onto this group as well, but you know, it's going to be fantastic. I can't believe what we are seeing, and hopefully it will be a right laugh. Just bear with 1 second. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what is happening. As I say, it will be pretty much interesting. Let's bear with while I just check the comments for a minute because I'm struggling. So yeah, as I was saying, just do apologise, just checking the comments because it's not coming up on my screen at the moment. But yeah, you got Faster JMS trying to make a move on Duds, which he does. So that's a fantastic job. You got Danny Oxton still in first place, but he's going to have Faster JMS and of course Duds trying to chase him down. As you can see, Slow Seamus has got past next gen Danzo for 4th place at the minute. So he's going the HKS Aston Martin versus the turquoise blue. You've got Percy and I believe Broken Legacy ran a bit wide. You've still got Hoppers in 8th place, followed by Les Pants and followed by, I believe that's Craig there. So Hoppers, as Craig's night gets from bad to worse there. Les Pants tries to make a move on Hoppers, but you've got Broken Legacy. We'll just quickly see what Hoppers is doing. He's obviously trying to chase down none other than Broken Legacy, but Les Pants is also filling these mirrors while Hoppers is chasing down, but Hoppers runs a bit wide into the Seaside hairpin. And of course Les Pants in the PlayStation Aston Martin, the nice colour flip, getting the toe onto Hoppers. I believe Les Pants is going to try and make a move. Yes, he does, but Hoppers closes the door. You've got Craig and Craydon battling for 10th and 11th, and I believe Waxer is a bit far back, but you know, it's still early days of the race. You know, it is going to be pretty much interesting, but you've got obviously Craig and Craydon still battling, so you know, it's going to be very interesting to see. Les Pants tries to make a move on Hoppers going down the start finish line. Is he going to make the move into the hairpin, or is Hoppers going to close the door? No, Les Pants gets through, but he's now going to get passed on to the latch of the back of the Quick Fit Aston Martin with Broken Legacy in 7th place. Hopefully Hoppers can pick up a few places, but you know, he's going to have the other two lurking behind him. But at the moment Percy, and he's trying to, he's a bit far behind from Danzo at the moment, but you've got Danzo, Slow Seamus and of course Duds and Faster JMS, but JMS is up the road. So you've got Slow Seamus and of course Duds still battling for 3rd and 4th as they go into the hairpin there, which allows Duds runs a bit wide, which allows Slow Seamus to get alongside. You've got Faster JMS and Danny Oxton up the road, but Slow Seamus makes the move for 3rd. But this is going to be fantastic. I can't believe what we are seeing. You know, look at this. Slow Seamus has got into 3rd, but you've got Duds still trying to. Oh, Seamus goes a bit wide, hits the barrier, which has allowed Danzo and Duds back up into 3rd and 4th, respectively. Seamus drops down to 5th, which will probably allow Percy to catch up. You've got Les Pants still in 7th, and then obviously Hoppers has got past Broken Legacy for potentially 8th place. But you've got the battle between Craydon and Broken Legacy, and Craig is obviously in 11th place at the moment. But this is fantastic stuff from everyone in this race so far. So good. Tyre wear is a major factor, but you know, it's going to be very interesting as Broken Legacy and Craydon still battle as Seamus jumps into pit lane. But I believe he was just making a pit stop, but that's now pushed him, I think. He's still rejoined in 6th place, I believe, but Craydon locks up a brake, taps Broken Legacy in the process. but that's allowed Broken Legacy to actually break the toe for a bit, but Creighton's fighting back, as we can see. But I can't believe this is going to be interesting, as Creighton is trying to get alongside Broken Legacy. Broken Legacy breaks the toe again, but you've got between, obviously, Broken Legacy, Creighton, and of course Craig battling for 9th, 10th and 11th, trying to chase down Hoppers in the other HKS Aston Martin there. You can see that Hoppers is struggling a bit. I believe, you know, the tyres may be going off his car, but you know it's going to be fantastic to see. And I tell you, this is going to be brilliant. I can't believe this. You know, Craig versus Broken Legacy, and obviously Creighton, but they're going to be hunting down Hoppers at the moment, but Hoppers keeps it together in 8th place. Hoppers runs wide, which is allowed Broken Legacy onto the back of him, but then you've got Craig onto the back of Broken Legacy as well. It could be a 4-car scrap if Creighton gets up into the toe of these guys. Hoppers goes a bit deep into the chicane. You've got Broken Legacy trying to make a move as well. Hoppers closes the door. Creighton and obviously Broken Legacy hop the curb, but you've got Creighton's trying to follow them, but you know Broken Legacy is trying to. Craig's got a bit of a penalty there. But this is going to be fantastic stuff. Hoppers is trying to escape with his life. We'll try and see what's going up at the front as well, as Broken Legacy gets a bit sideways, gets a bit twitchy. As you know, it's going to be obviously between Craig and Broken Legacy. But Craig goes for a move because Broken Legacy was taking his penalty, but that's just allowed him to catch up to the back of Hoppers slightly. But you know, this is going to be fantastic. You've got Creighton trying to latch onto the back of Craig there as we go into the bit of the tight and twisty stuff. We'll see what's going on back. Seamus is still in 5th place. Percy's now trying to catch up to him in the black Aston Martin there. So the American tries to chase down the Irishman. You've got Danny Oxton running a bit wide, which is our faster JMS into 1st place. Then you've got Danzo and Dud still battling for 3rd and 4th. Slow Seamus runs a bit wide, but I believe Percy isn't there to try and latch onto the back of him. You've got obviously Les Pants, and then you still got Hoppers trying to hold off Craig, but Craig fights back and cuts in front of Hoppers. Hoppers tries to get onto the back of him there, but you know, this is going to be fantastic stuff. As I say, you've got Broken Legacy and of course Creighton, and then of course Waxer, I believe he's struggling at the moment, but then Ket's also still in pit lane. But this is going to be fantastic. We will see what's going on. Craig is now got, as you see, I believe Broken Legacy just hops the curbs and taps Hoppers, but unfortunately Hoppers couldn't do much about that, which has now cost Hoppers about a couple of positions, because now Creighton has got back up into 9th. Hoppers is now in 10th, and potentially Hoppers is now going to jump into pit lane. I believe the tyres had gone off, so he's now jumped into pit lane, which is like Broken Legacy into 10th place. So you know, that's a bit unfortunate, but you know, you've got Broken Legacy followed up to 10th place, Creighton in 9th, then you got obviously Craig in 8th, then you got Les Pants and Slow Seamus in 7th and 6th, then you got Percy now trying to battle. I believe Percy got past Slow Seamus for 5th place. You've got Percy trying to chase down Danzo for potentially 4th place now, and you know, it's going to be very interesting. He's got his right hand his indicator on. I don't know whether he means it, but you know, it's going to be very interesting. As I say, you've got Duds in 3rd place, then you've got Danny Oxton still trying to chase down. I believe he's trying to still chase down none other than faster JMS there, which he is faster JMS, as Danny clips the curb, which hops him up there. But you know, that's just the nature of the curbs around here, so it's going to be very interesting. You've got Danzo now breaking the bead and breaking the gap from Percy. Percy's got to be careful, because he will have Slow Seamus gets a bit crossed up going into the final turn here. And you know, it's going to be fantastic stuff. I've got Slow Seamus, you know, he's going to be on a mission to try and chase down Percy. Then you've got faster JMS, you've got Danny Oxton and Duds potentially in pit lane, but they've all come out within visible gaps of each other. They've all took the battle to pit lane, which Duds drops down to 6th place, which has now allowed Percy up into 4th. and you know it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But I believe there's going to be a 4-car battle between, I believe, Percy, Duds and Slow Seamus for potentially 4th place at the moment. But yeah, Duds is all over the back of Percy now. He's still got that indicator on. Is it a distraction? Who knows? But you know, Duds is going to get him going up the hill, but Percy defends. But this will be very interesting. You've got Duds trying to battle one way, goes on the outside. Yes, he makes the move. So Seamus is also doing exactly the same as we go into the Seaside hairpin, because you can see the Seaside. But yes, you've got Les Pants still in 7th, you've got Craydon 8th, you've got Broken Legacy and Craig still trying to have a battle for 9th and 10th, and then Hoppers in 11th, and then obviously Waxter in 12th place at the moment. But at the moment this battle, Danny Oxton has got past faster JMS, but JMS is still filling the mirrors of that Aston Martin in 1st place. But this is going to be interesting. You've got Dixon Danzor in 3rd place, followed by Duds with a 5-10th penalty, and Slow Seamus is trying to latch onto the back of him. Look at the green Aston Martin. He will get into 4th because Duds is taking his pit penalty, as you've got Percy into the pit lane, which will probably allow potentially but Les Pants has also joined in the pit lane, so that will probably push Craydon up into 7th. But Craydon's also pitting. Craig's now going to jump into pits, which has allowed him up into 7th. Broken Legacy joined them in the pit lane, so it will be very interesting to see. I believe Hoppers is just going through the final turn, so it may not catch these guys up yet. Les Pants is in 7th, Percy in 6th. Then you've got Craig 8th, Duds and Seamus still battling for 4th and 5th, which is going to be very interesting to see what happens towards the end of the race, whether Slow Seamus can catch up to none other than Duds in 4th place. You've still got Danny Oxton and obviously faster JMS potentially working together for 1st and 2nd. You've got Danzo still obviously in 3rd, but you've got Duds and Slow Seamus trying to battle for 4th and 5th, going into the tight chicane where the curbs here are mental. You know, you hop one of them, it can spit you out, as we know. But Slow Seamus going through up towards the final turn, he runs a bit wide there, so he's kicked up the dirt, which has allowed Duds to have a bit of a gap. But at the moment we'll see what's going on further back. You know, I think the gaps now are just coming down slightly. You've got Craydon and Craig still in 8th and 9th. I believe Broken Legacy is still in 10th. Yes, he is. You've got Hoppers in 11th. Then you've got Waxter in 12th there. But Slow Seamus has made another pit stop. I don't know whether his tyres went off, but rejoined him back into 5th. But he will have lost ground on Duds, so he's got to be careful, because Percy will pounce on him and potentially overtake him. So yes, it will be fantastic stuff to see what we can do. I tell you what, this has been brilliant so far, so good for these guys. But you've got Duds trying to now chase up Danzo, but Danzo is a couple of attempts up the road in the lighter blue turquoise Aston Martin. You've got faster JMS now trying to catch up to Danny Oxton for 1st place, going out of the Seaside hairpin. But it is going to be fantastic to see. I can't believe exactly what is happening. We do have obviously Danny Oxton trying to control the lead from faster JMS. I'll see what's happening further back. You've obviously got Danzo trying to escape from Duds, which he is doing at the moment. Got Slow Seamus and Percy trying to chase each other down. You've got Les Pants, you've got Craig and Craydon basically trying to battle. You've got Broken Legacy trying to get away from Hoppers. Hoppers is actually in 11th place at the moment, with Waxter in 12th place. But we'll see what's going on at the front between obviously faster JMS and obviously Danny Oxton. You know, this is fantastic stuff. They obviously Danny's going to try and take a win in the Aston Martin. He started on pole position, he's going to try and convert it into another win, but you know, it's going to be fantastic. You see Faster JMS, Danny runs a bit wide, which is allowed Faster JMS to come alongside slightly, but the Faster JMS has the faster run going up the hill. Is he going to try and make a move on Danny Ogston this lap, or is he just going to play it cool? But Danny Ogston is there still defending, but Faster JMS, he's on the boot lead. He's actually trying to put Danny on a lot of pressure going down into the Seaside hairpin, but Faster JMS doesn't have the faster power at the moment. He's trying to get the power down, runs a bit wide onto the curb, but Danny Ogston is still there defending that lead from obviously Faster JMS. But I cannot believe what I'm seeing. Danzo and Duds are still doing exactly the same like Faster JMS and Danny Ogston are doing up in front. Slow Seamus is still there in 5th place. You've got Percy now being chased by Les Pants for 6th place, but you know, the gap is slightly closing, but you've got Les Pants there still in 7th place. You've still got Craig and obviously Craydon's picked up a bit of a penalty, but his brakes are locked up a brake going into Seaside hairpin. Got Broken Legacy in the quick fit Aston Martin in 7th place. You've got Hoppers just coming through Seaside hairpin now, and then you've got Waxter who's about to get lapped by the race leaders, so you know, it is going to be very interesting. Faster JMS is still trying to latch onto the back of Danny Ogston, potentially as they go under the bridge into the left-hand bend there, which is going to be interesting as Waxter get held up Faster JMS as JMS runs a bit wide, which is now cost him ground to obviously Waxter's now got back in front of Faster JMS, but Danny Ogston there now has the lead of the race. He's got a bigger gap as Faster JMS still runs a bit wide. He's struggling a bit. I believe his tyres may be going off now, but you know, it will be very interesting. Danzo and Duds are still battling. Duds is now close to gap, and Slow Seamus in the background just kicks up a bit of dirt, but this is going to be very, very, very interesting as we break for Seaside hairpin. Duds tries to think about a move, but Duds runs a bit wide onto the curb, but this is going to be fantastic. But I believe Duds isn't going to give up a fight. This is going to be very interesting going into the chicane here, but Duds thinks about it. Danzo locks up a brake, but Danzo's under threat from Duds as Duds tries to make a move on the inside rather for the last turn. Is he going to make a move, or is Danzo going to give him a bit of room? But we'll see what happens between these two. Duds actually gets the slipstream, but Danzo probably wants to break the slipstream as Duds tries to make a move on the outside going into turn number 1. Duds runs a bit wide, but Danzo's also there, which is allowed Slow Seamus back up to try and push for these in front of these guys. I believe Les Pants now is putting Percy under pressure as Les Pants runs a bit wide into the second double right hand bend there. But you know, it's going to be fantastic to see whether Les Pants can catch up to the back of Percy. For 6th place you've got Craig and then Craydon still in 8th and 9th. Then you've got Broken Legacy still in 10th place. A bit of a big gap ahead of Hoppers in 11th. Hoppers is just about to cross the line there, and then obviously Waxter a couple of laps down, and obviously Ket still in pit lane. But at the moment I believe Danzo and Duds are still battling, but Danzo has a bit of a penalty which is allowed Duds to get past him. Slow Seamus is going to be catching him very quickly now, as you can see that green Aston Martin there trying to chase down the turquoise blue car for potentially 4th place. But Duds and Danzo are going to try and literally battle to the end. You've got Slow Seamus now catched up to Danzo for potentially 4th place. This is fantastic. I cannot believe what I am seeing here. So what's going to happen? Slow Seamus as Danzo goes into pit lane. so that's going to allow Slow Seamus to up into 4th, and potentially Danzo is going to probably still come out in 5th place, but at the moment I believe Faster JMS and Danny Oxton still have a bit of a a gap between obviously Duds and Slow Seamus. Then you have Percy broke the split from Les Pants there, so you got Danzo up into 4th. I believe that is Waxter in the getting another lap on him, but that would be very interesting. You got Craig and then Craden, as Cragen goes off at the double R but regains control there. He's got a bit of a gap from Broken Legacy, so Broken Legacy just coming through the last bit of the double R there, but you've got Hoppers still in 11th, just crossing the line there. He's doing okay so far. As Craig goes off track just as we look, that's going to probably allow Craden to try and catch up onto the back of him, but I believe, you know, Slow Seamus and Duds are still going to battle it out for the final place on the podium. But this is going to be potentially interesting to see what goes on as Slow Seamus goes a bit wide, doesn't clip the curb, but he's trying to chase onto the back of Duds for potentially 3rd place. At the moment you've still got Fast JMS there just jumping on. You've got Danny Oxton still in 1st place, but the battle between Duds and obviously Slow Seamus, as I try and struggle to get my words out, but Seamus is on the back of him. You've got him, Seamus is making a move into turn number 1, but Duds closes his door, has a bit of tyre smoke going into turn 1. He's gonna have to, he's got his mirrors filled with Slow Seamus there, but he's gonna have to get on with it, because Seamus will catch him. You know what Seamus is like. Seamus is going to be on top of his game here, but this is going to be fantastic stuff. You know, the MRC Gran Turismo Touring Car Championship is fantastic, but at the moment you've got Duds versus Slow Seamus. I believe Danzo has got a bit of a gap from Les Pants, because Les Pants and Percy are now battling. So Les Pants, you can just see Les Pants there as Percy goes a bit wide and nearly knocks Les Pants off track, but Percy is going to be still chasing him down. I'll tell you what, this is fantastic stuff from these guys. It is absolutely been a mega battle between these guys as well, but you know, it's going to be very interesting. Craden has finally got past Craig for potentially 8th place. You've got Craig actually nearly coming under threat from Broken Legacy, and then obviously Hoppers in 11th place, and then Waxter in potentially 12th place there, and Ket is still in pit lane. But coming back to this battle between Duds and of course Slow Seamus, this is going to be another probably exciting and enthralling race between these guys. Seamus runs a bit wide going out of the final turn, but so does Duds, and Duds is going to be under threat from Slow Seamus. Slow Seamus is going to get 3rd onto the line, going across the line. That's going to be fantastic stuff. Slow Seamus breaks into turn number 1, which has allowed Duds to try and catch up to him, but Slow Seamus now up into 3rd place. You've got Faster JMS and Danny Oxton still up in 1st and 2nd just up the road. But this is going to be really interesting to see what goes on. You've got Slow Seamus and Duds potentially in 3rd and 4th at the moment. This is going to be probably one of the best battles, you know, of this race, but obviously it's going to be very interesting. You've, as I say, but you know, you've got Danzo in 5th, you've got Les Pants, still got Percy behind him. Percy's probably going to settle for 7th now. Craden and of course Craig are still in 8th and 9th. You've got Broken Legacy still trying to catch on to the back of Craig, and you've got Hoppers just coming through in 12th. You've got Waxter just having another lap, getting another lap as Craig's gone off there. Didn't see exactly what happened to Craig, but I think he ran a bit wide and just hit the wall again, which has allowed Broken Legacy to come in 9th. Hoppers will be in 11th, but at the moment Slow Seamus is holding off for dear life. Got Danny Oxton takes a well-deserved victory from Faster JMS there, or Fast JMS, and then you've got Slow Seamus in third place, followed by Duds in fourth, which Slow Seamus from the back of the field will get onto the podium. What a fantastic drive from Slow Seamus there. Duds in fourth, followed by Danzor there coming home in fifth. Then you've got Les Pants, and then obviously Percy for 6th and 7th. Then you've got Craydon in potentially 8th place at the moment, and then obviously Broken Legacy and Craig are having a bit of a battle towards the end, so this will be very interesting. You've got Broken Legacy still holding off Craig for potentially 10th place, but with Craig's penalty, Craig's decided to take the penalty, so Broken Legacy will come home in 9th. Then you will have Craig in 10th place, followed by Hoppers. You know, Hoppers, fair enough, struggled a bit with tyre wear, I think, and Waxter came home in 12th, but Hoppers will come home in 11th, and Ket obviously finished in potentially didn't finish at all, so that will put probably Waxter on pole position for race 2 at Dragon Trail Seaside. And it's fantastic to see, and as things go, I can't believe what we have seen with these guys. And I tell you what, this has actually been quite interesting to see what happens in the next race on obviously the Seaside circuit. And yes, it does have the chicane of death, and it's going to be very interesting. But I tell you what, congratulations to Danny Ogston taking a well-deserved victory, followed by Faster JMS. But yes, we will go to potentially the Dragon Trail Seaside. This is going to be potentially the second race of the evening. There's two races. The first race, obviously, you're in the Aston Martin GR4, and then obviously the second race you get to pick a GR4 car of your own. So I'll just grab a quick drink and then we'll get into the second race. But I hope you're enjoying the stream, and I hope you're really liking the commentary as well. As I say, it is the first time I've done MRC commentary, but it is obviously fantastic. And I tell you what, just bear with why we get I'll try and read the grid out as we can, but I'll pause it for a moment so you can see who starts where. But just I'll give you who's in what car as well. So just bear with me 1 second. So we'll just grab a quick drink as well while we're here. So we're on Dragon Trails Gardens, not Gardens, Seaside now. So Waxter is on pole position, followed by Hoppers in the BMW, so it's Renault versus BMW. Then it's Craig versus Broken Legacy, so Porsche Cayman versus the Audi TT. Craydon obviously in another Porsche Cayman, followed by Percy in a Ferrari. And then you have Les Pants in a BMW versus Danzo in the McLaren. Then you have Duds in a Volkswagen Scirocco. So that'll be, I believe, that is an interesting livery there, the next gen racing team. So that will be very interesting to see. Then you've got Slow Seamus in the HKS Citroen, which is a bit of a force to be reckoned for, from what I believe. And then you have Faster JMS, or Fast JMS should I say, in the other Audi TT. And then Danny Ogston in a Dodge Viper. So it will be very interesting to see. We'll go back up to the front. Excuse me, as a bit of a hiccup. But yes, we are going to get ready for Dragon's Trail Seaside in a moment or two. Just bear with 1 second. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens here at Dragon Trail Seaside. The sun is going down, so it's going to be a major factor. But let's get into the action. And we are about to get all cars on the grid as the revs are building. Mine are building as well. You can hear the revs of that Ferrari, who's going to make a jump into turn number 1 as we get 5 lights about to turn to green any moment now. As the lights go out, Waxter stalls cars on the grid there, which has allowed Hoppers up into the lead, and I believe that was a bit of a slow start. So Hoppers in the lead in the HKS BMW, followed by the Porsche Cayman of Craig, and obviously Percy in the Ferrari, and Slow Seamus up into 4th already in that Citroen, followed by Danzo in the McLaren. But I believe the McLaren is now going to be launching onto the back. Hoppers still leads a bit of the race here, going down into the next turn now, which is a bit as Craig runs a bit wide. But this is going to be very interesting. You've got the McLaren, you've got Percy in the Ferrari there trying to escape from Hoppers. But I believe this is going to be potentially interesting. Slow Seamus in that Citroen is still trying to catch up to these guys, which he does. You've got Broken Legacy and obviously Danny Ogston, and of course I believe that was Fast JMS, and obviously Duds in the Scirocco. You've got Danny Ogston under pressure from Duds in that Scirocco, but Hoppers at the moment leads the race, runs a bit wide into the hairpin, so that has allowed Hoppers to drop down. I think he's dropped down into 4th place. Yes he has, but you know he's going to be probably on the charge again, which has allowed Danzo in the McLaren up in the lead of the race, followed by Percy, followed by Slow Seamus and that Citroen. Craig's got past, and Duds, I think Hoppers tries to brake a bit slow into that chicane just as things go on, but you know, fair enough, he's obviously not raced on this circuit before. But you've got Broken Legacy and Danny Ogston still chasing him down, obviously Fast JMS as well. But it will be interesting. So we are ticking off lap 1 already in the box with Slow Seamus up into 2nd. He's putting Percy under threat, but at the moment there's a bit of a battle between Broken Legacy and Hoppers going into the chicane. So it's first chicane on lap number 2, potentially out of 16, maybe 17. Oh, Hoppers has a bit of a tap, but fair play. He loses 2 places though, because he was obviously giving the likes of Fast JMS and obviously giving Broken Legacy the place back. You've got Les Pants still in 12th place. You've got Waxter and Craydon still having a bit of a battle, but we'll see what happens. Waxter gives Craydon a bit of a tap, which has allowed Craydon to, I don't know if he's picked up a bit of damage, but you know, Les Pants is all over the back of him, and it's going to be fantastic stuff. You've got potentially Danny Ogston in that Viper now chasing down Craig in the Monster Energy Porsche Cayman, and I believe Percy and Duds and Slow Seamus is up into 2nd place. That Citroen must be working wonder powers. You know, that is it's a nice car, yes, but you know, you don't, as Percy holds off Danny Ogston at the moment for 6th place. Danny Ogston under threat from Fast JMS going into the chicane of death. It's going to be very interesting. You've got obviously Broken Legacy after his tap with Hoppers doing well, but Danny Ogston clips the wall, which has allowed Fast JMS to draw alongside, but Percy's holding these guys up as well. They're going to make it 3-1. But oh, this is going to be fantastic. Percy tries to get back into 6th place, but you've got Danny Ogston in the Viper in 6th place, but we'll go back. Hoppers in 9th at the moment. You've got Craydon 10th, you've got Waxter and of course Les Pants for 11th and 12th still battling. I believe Waxter's having a bit of issues. Gearbox, sounds like he's having gearbox issues in that Renault Megane there. But you've got Danzo and Slow Seamus, the McLaren versus the Citroen. So you try and go on board with obviously Slow Seamus at the moment in the beautiful Citroen. Look at the dashboard in the Citroen, that is nice. But you know, Slow Seamus trying to catch up onto Danzo at the moment. You've got Dux into 3rd place, you've got Craig in 4th still, you've got Faster JMS in 5th place, got Broken Legacy and Danny Ogston for 6th and 7th. Then you've got Percy trying to focus, but onto the back of Danny Ogston for potentially 7th place at the moment. You've got Hoppers still running in 9th, and this is going to be fantastic stuff. You know, I can't believe what we are seeing. So you've got Craydon still with his penalty, but at the moment I believe Danny Ogston and of course Broken Legacy, so Danny takes 6th place from Broken Legacy at the moment. But it's going to be very interesting going into this chicane into the next one, because Danny Ogston now has that gap from Broken Legacy. You've got Craydon, even though he's got a penalty, trying to chase up to the back of Hoppers in that HKS BMW there. You can just see the M4 just trying to hold on at the moment. You've got Les Pants also there in the PlayStation backed M4 as well. So Hoppers is trying to hold off Craydon for 10th place at the moment. You've got Waxter at the moment. Still sounds like he's struggling with that McGann. I don't know whether he's blown a turbo or not, but we'll see what happens. But Slow Seamus is under threat from Danzo, and of course Ducks there, but that's also allowed Craig to also join this battle. So Citroen versus McLaren versus Volkswagen versus Porsche. Then it is none other than Fast JMS and Audi TT, followed by the Viper of Danny Ogston there. Then you've got Broken Legacy in the Quick Fit TT, followed by the Ferrari of Percy, which Percy is going to potentially be on a mega charge in that Ferrari, trying to chase down the TT. Les Pants and Craydon finally have got past Hoppers. I think Hoppers actually just ran a bit wide there, so he's actually now, Hoppers is now in 11th. And Waxter still in that McGann. I don't know whether he's struggling or not, but you know, Dux has now got past Danzo for 2nd, going down towards the hairpin. So the McLaren is now dropped a place, but you've got Dux trying to chase down Slow Seamus for potentially 1st place, but Slow Seamus in that beautiful Citroen to go through as Danzo clips the wall, which is allowed Craig up into 3rd, followed by Fast JMS. So the McLaren is now, I think it's a bit wounded, so it's lost a bit of a place from Danny Ogston in 5th place. Now it overtakes the McLaren. So you've got Broken Legacy followed by Percy for 7th and 8th, and then you've got Craydon still with a 2-second penalty. I don't know where he's getting the penalty from, but he is potentially in 9th. You got Les Pants in the 1st BMW M4, so the PlayStation BMW M4, and then you've got Hoppers in the HKS, and then followed by Waxter in potentially in 12th place. But you've got Duds in the Scirocco, still trying to chase down, I believe, Slow Seamus and that Citroen. You can just see that Citroen just eking out that gap now. Fast JMS is under threat from none other than Craig there for potentially 3rd place. You know, the TT versus the Cayman, and I'll tell you what, Danny Ogston also there in potentially 5th place. Then you've got the McLaren. So the McLaren tried to make up in grounds of Danzo after he clipped the wall going out of the Seaside chicane. But this is going to be fantastic stuff. I can't believe exactly what we are doing. It is going to be fantastic. Just bear with. That's okay. But you've got Broken Legacy and Percy still battling. You've got Craydon and of course Les Pants and of course Hoppers, and then Waxter still struggling at the moment. Slow Seamus trying to eke out that advantage, but there's a 3-car battle now. So I believe the McLaren of Danzo is struggling, but we shall see what goes on. You've got Danny Ogston trying to make a move in the Viper on Craig for potentially 4th place. So the Monster Energy Cayman versus the Dodge Viper versus the McLaren. But I can't believe this, but this is what I want to see. You know, it's just going to be interesting. But you've got Fast JMS there in 3rd place. This is going to be fantastic. Danny Ogston at the moment is going to be making a bit of a move, but you know, it's going to be very interesting. So you've got this battle between the Viper and of course the Cayman, and obviously the McLaren, as Danny Ogston tries to make a move on the inside, which he does. So he's up into 4th. Danzo now in the McLaren is potentially now trying to chase Craig in that Monster Energy Cayman, but Craig thinks about closing the door, which he does very nicely indeed. You've got Percy still trying to chase down Broken Legacy for 7th, Craydon in 9th, then you've got Les Pants, and then Hopper's struggling like mad in that BMW at the moment as Waxter goes off at turn number 1. He's still struggling with that McGann. Seems to me, it sounds like it's blowing the turbo, but you know, it's going to be very interesting. Slow Seamus at the moment still in 18th place, and I'll tell you what, this is going to be fantastic stuff to see. I can't believe that Duds is trying to eke out that gap, but at the moment you got that Citroen there still looking at potentially a victory there. You got Fast JMS followed by Danny Oxton now, and I believe Danzo now has got past Craig for 6th place at the moment, so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens within each of the time. But you know, it's going to be very interesting. The McLaren, he's trying to chase up to this group, but he's going to have Craig in the Porsche Cayman behind him trying to latch on. You've still got Broken Legacy and Percy for 7th and 8th. I believe you've got Craydon and Les Pants for 9th and 10th, and then you've got Hoppers in 11th, and obviously Waxter in potentially 12th place there. But yes, it's going to be a battle between Craig and of course Danzo for potentially 5th place. I believe Faster JMS now, he's catching up to Duds. Just give me 1 second while I just check what's going on. But you know, it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be one of them, but Fast JMS, I need to stop saying faster, but it looks like he's trying to latch onto the back of Duds for potentially 3rd place. You've got Danny Ogston there still trying to eke out that gap from obviously the McLaren and the Cayman, and it's going to be very interesting to see what happens within the next bit. But Danzo is under threat from Craig in that Cayman. Craig's right up his back bumper now, but you know, it's going to be very interesting going into the second part of the chicane. There's Danzo there. I think he's just managed to just do it. Broken Legacy there has got a gap from now Percy, but Percy's under threat from Craydon, so put Ferrari versus Cayman. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens as we go on, but it's going to be very interesting. You've got Les Pants just in 10th place. You got Hoppers still struggling in that BMW at the moment. I think it's kind of hampering him at the moment. And then obviously Waxter in 12th place at the moment, but Slow Seamus in the Citroen there still leading. And some of the guys are pitting now, probably to, which is allowed Faster JMS, because I believe Craig and Danzo both pitted. I'm not too sure, but it looks like Broken Legacy and Danzo are potentially there for 6th and 7th. You got Percy in the Ferrari just lurking in the background with Craydon in the Cayman, potentially latching onto the back of these guys as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. I believe Broken Legacy and Danzo are still battling for 6th and 7th, which is allowed potentially Percy and of course Craydon to catch up there. So it's going to be very interesting. Les Pants still in 11th place at the moment, and Hoppers is still in 11th, as Craydon actually runs a bit wide, which is now, he's lost ground to these guys now, which unfortunately the Porsche Cayman there has lost a bit of ground. But then you've got Les Pants in the PlayStation M3 still in 10th. You've got Hoppers in the HKS M4. They're both M4s, not M3s, just get that out of there. But you know, Hopper's still in 11th. Then you've got Slow Seamus still controlling this race in that Citroen. That Citroen obviously must be a force to be reckoned for, as Danny Ogston is under threat from Fast JMS. But I believe as Duds runs a bit wide out of the final turn, which Fast JMS jumps into pit lane, so he's going to be changing potentially onto the softs, maybe 2 softs, but we'll see. But you've got Duds and Craig still battling for 3rd and 4th because of Fast JMS rather into pit lane. You've got Danzo coming down start finish line as Fast JMS jumps out of pit lane. You've got Percy and Craydon now in potentially 8th and 7th and 8th. You've got Broken Legacy just coming out ahead of Les Pants in 10th place there. Then you've got Hoppers in 11th, then you've got Waxter in 12th. But you know, this is going to be very interesting. I believe the gaps are now closed down a bit, but you've got Duds versus Fast JMS, and of course Danzo bringing up that bringing up a bit of pressure for Fast JMS there. Fast JMS gets alongside Duds but runs a bit wide himself, but they have a bit of a battle as Craig drops it into, I don't know if he's had a bit of an issue, but it looked like he had a bit of an issue, so he's now dropped down to 6th place, and that's allowed Danzo, I didn't mean to pause the replay there, sorry, but you got Danzo versus as I say, you got Duds trying to chase down Fast JMS, but Duds and Danzo are still trying to chase down Fast JMS there. You've got Percy trying to now chase after Craig. You've got Craydon in 8th, then you've got Broken Legacy, and then Les Pants just lurking in the background. So Seamus makes a pit stop, which I believe Danny Ogston also will do the same. Is that going to allow Fast JMS to close the gap onto these guys, or is it going to be one of them? We shall see, but that allows Fast JMS puts it into 2nd place as Danny Ogston jumps out of pit lane just as we see this battle between Duds and next gen Danzo get past him with ease because he's on cold tyres. He's just exit pit lane. That's allowed the McLaren versus the Viper, but the Viper's got past, so he's got past both of them, I believe. So he has, yes. So Danny Ogston in 3rd place at the moment. He's going to now chase down Fast JMS, but this is going to be very interesting. You've got Duds and Danzo in the McLaren, and obviously Shirokai, followed by Percy in the Ferrari at the moment, doing quite well. You've got Broken Legacy and Craig now having a battle, so the battle of the Audi TT versus the Porsche Cayman battle. We'll just have a look what they're doing here, but this is going to be very interesting. I believe at the moment Duds and Danzo are still battling for 5th and 4th. Danny Ogston now has a bit of a gap. Ooh, as Craydon gets it a bit wrong, just really flicked to him. But Craig's now going to make a move on Broken Legacy. They run a bit wide both, as Broken Legacy gets put in the wall by Craig there, but fair play, Craig gives him the place back there. Which Les Pants now is in 9th place. You've got Craydon in 10th place, and you've got Hoppers in potentially 11th place. You've got Waxter in 12th. It is going to be very interesting to see what happens. So yeah, but yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens within the last couple of moments. But you know, you got Danzo in potentially 4th. Danzo in 4th. Sorry, I nearly got myself distracted. You got Duds 5th, trying to hold off Percy in that Ferrari. You still got Fast JMS in 2nd, and Slow Seamus. So far in that Citroen, he's eking out that lap. But this is going to be absolutely fantastic. You've got Duds 5th, you've got Percy 6th, you've got Broken Legacy, and also Craig in 7th and 8th. Les Pants in 9th, followed by Craydon in 10th, followed by Hoppers, and obviously Waxter, or Waxer, depending on how you pronounce it, in 12th place. But this is going to be fantastic. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Slow Seamus in that Citroen at the moment, trying to eke out the gap. I believe Danny Ogston is trying to chase down Fast JMS, but you've got next then Danzo in 4th place, followed by Percy, followed by Duds and Broken Legacy. They have a bit of a battle. Broken Legacy pushes Duds a bit wide, you know, that's It's a bit unfortunate because that's cost him a bit of ground, because Craig's also in there as we jump into the chicane, the two chicanes of death. It's going to be very interesting to see. Got Broken Legacy holding off Craig at the moment, but Craig's going to make a move. So you got the Porsche versus the LDTT. Is Craig going to go on the inside? They have a bit of contact. You just wondered where Craig went then, because the camera obviously followed him. But Craig's now back into 8th as Broken Legacy gets a bit wide. And got Percy into pit lane, so that's going to cost him a bit of ground, but you can potentially see what is going on. But this is going to be fantastic. Percy is in rejoins in 8th place. Les Pants still in 9th. You got Craydon in the Porsche Cayman. You've got Hoppers in the BMW M4. I think at the moment he's struggling. At the moment he hops the curb going out of that chicane there, but you know, fair play, he's never giving up. Where Waxter struggling at the moment, but it's going to be very interesting. Slow Seamus in that Citroen from Fast JMS from Danny Ogston. Then you've got Danzo still in 4th. Then you got potentially in 5th place. Then you got Craig, followed by Broken Legacy, and you know, this is going to be very interesting. This is probably a battle that we've been itching to see. Craig now in the Monster Energy Porsche Cayman. He's struggling at the moment, but Broken Legacy probably will be having a bit of a whale at the moment. He's probably going to chase down Craig for potentially 6th place at the moment. You got Percy and of course Les Pants, followed by Craydon, and then obviously Hoppers in that HKS. But at the moment it is going to be very interesting. I'm just going to quickly just have a look about certain things, but you got Fast JMS there from Danny Ogston, and obviously Danzo, and then obviously Duds there for potentially 5th place. Then you got Craig and Broken Legacy. They're going to have a bit of a battle potentially for 6th place as we go on to lap number 13. So it's going to be very interesting. I believe, you know, Percy in the Ferrari is going to be catching Les Pants. It's creeping up onto Percy, but you've also got Craydon in that Porsche Cayman just trying to latch onto the back of none other than Les Pants there in the other BMW M4, and it's going to be very interesting. You've got Hoppers there still going quite well in the HKS BMW, but I think he's struggling quite a bit. You've got Waxter going offline in that McGann, but Slow Seamus at the moment. I think, you know, the Citroen is kind of quite futuristic, but it's really nice to see what they are doing. But you know, it's going to be one of them. I'll tell you what, this is going to be fantastic. You got Fast JMS, should I say? Sorry, just got overtaken by Danny Ogston for 2nd place just as we were going through the field. But this is going to be very interesting. You've got Craig now eking out that gap between himself and of course Broken Legacy, and then you got Percy, got Les Pants creeping up on him, but I believe Les Pants at the moment is a couple of seconds behind. Then you have Craydon and obviously trying to chase down Les Pants. So the Porsche versus BMW battles. Craydon clips the wall going out of the chicane there. He's got Hoppers, unfortunately at the moment runs a bit wide. He's hopped it, put it on 2 wheels going into that bit. He's obviously struggling with that BMW at the moment, but you know, fair play, Hoppers isn't giving up. You've got Danny Ogston and Faster JMS. You've got Danzo and Duds potentially scrapping out for 4th and 5th, which Duds is getting closer to that McLaren slightly but surely. But it is going to be very interesting. You know, you've got Craig and Broken Legacy still battling. You've got Percy. I believe Craydon now has got past Les Pants. Yes, he has. So I believe Les Pants made a mistake as he tries to lap where Waxter goes off into turn number 1 there. I believe we'll just go back to Duds and Danzo for a moment. We hear tyres squeal from that McLaren. I believe Danzo's gone into pit lane again, so it's going to be very interesting to see what goes on. I can't believe this is fantastic stuff. As I say, you've got Duds now closing onto the back of the McLaren going into this chicane, the two chicanes here at Dragon Trail Seaside. It's going to be very close. You've got the McLaren now. The McLaren's quite a GT car versus the obviously sports tourer of the Volkswagen Scirocco, but they both clipped the wall on the way out. You've got fast JMS up the road with Danny Ogston's Viper, but Duds is trying to make a move on Danzo, going out of the hairpin, out of the final turn, trying to get a run on up the line. This is going to be amazing. What can we see? But Craig's also lurking in the background. You know, you've got Nick, Danzo and Duds trying to battle. Oh, okay, let's go and see what happens. You've got Danzo trying to hold on, and you've got Duds. Duds now has the outside line. Danzo gets him, but Duds isn't giving up at the moment. Danzo in that McLaren, but it's going to be very interesting. The Broken Legacy now has got past Percy for 7th. Creighton's still in 9th. You got Les Pants 11th. You got Hoppers still in 11th. You got Waxter in 12th. You got Danny Ogston and Slow Seamus 1st and 2nd. So Slow Seamus in 1st place, followed by Danny Ogston. You've got faster JMS in 3rd. Then you've got the battle between these two, between Danzo and of course Duds for potentially 4th and 5th. Danzo runs a bit wide, which has allowed Duds to go alongside. You've got the Scirocco versus the McLaren. Is Duds going to make a move? No, he isn't. Or is he? Yes, he has. But Danzo's also thinking about it. So the side by side going up towards the chicane. One of them's got to yield into the chicane. But oh my goodness. Oh, Duds makes the move. He actually makes the move there. Oh. Danzo actually makes a mistake, clips the wall. I don't know whether he picked up a bit of damage there, which has allowed Craig now to potentially chase him there. Yeah, Craig's got past him, sorry. I didn't mean to cough. But Craig's got the move done. Danzo is now 6th place. He's going to be under threat from these two, Percy and Broken Legacy. So Broken Legacy in the quick fit Audi TT versus Percy in the Ferrari. Creighton 9th, then got Les Pants in 10th, followed by Hoppers. So the two BMW M4s in 10th and 11th, and Waxter in 12th place. Slow Seamus at the moment clips the dirt, but holds it controllably very well. And obviously Danny Ogston in 2nd, then faster JMS, then you have, or fast JMS should I say, and then you've got Duds in 4th now from Craig and Danzo. Then you've got Broken Legacy under threat from none other than Percy in that Ferrari, so the TT versus Ferrari. So the Italian stallion trying to chase after Broken Legacy, so the American trying to chase down Broken Legacy. Then you've got Creighton in 9th, then you've got Les Pants and Hoppers in 10th and 11th, and then Waxter in potentially now 12th place, but Broken Legacy runs a bit wide, tries to do what Hoppers did last couple of laps as Percy down bodges his way past Broken Legacy for 7th place at the moment. But that's going to be very interesting. You got Danzo now struggling with that McLaren as Craig holds on to 5th place at the moment, but you got Broken Legacy and Percy still potentially battling for 7th and 8th at the moment. But you know, this is going to be fantastic stuff. I believe at the moment this is the way things are going, as we see Percy and Broken Legacy try and hold on. Slow Seamus there puts a lap on Hoppers for, obviously, poor old Hoppers in 11th in that BMW. At the moment he's doing quite well though, fair play to him. But Danny Ogston in that Viper there trying to chase down Slow Seamus. Clips the gravel a bit on the exit of turn number 2 there, but you know, it's going to be fantastic to see. We've got fast JMS should I say in 3rd place, followed by Dodds, followed by Craig and Danzo. So the McLaren and Porsche battle is still ongoing. You still got the Ferrari and TT battle ongoing. Then you've got Craydon in the 999 Porsche Cayman in 9th. Then you've got Les Pants in 10th. Then you have got Hoppers in 11th, followed by Waxter. But Slow Seamus at the moment is going to take probably a well-deserved victory in that Citroen. That Citroen is obviously magic, and you know it can't be potentially doable to see what happens within what goes on. But we will go for potentially Slow Seamus will take a victory. He did very well to start from where he started. He's going to cross the line and take a victory for Citroen, followed by Danny Ogston in the Viper. So Danny Ogston will come home in 2nd, so that's good points haul for Danny. And then you got Fast JMS coming in 3rd place. Then you got Dodds in 4th, followed by Craig and Danzo. But I believe Danzo and Craig are still battling towards the line, but there's a bit of a tap which has allowed Craig to just get back in front, and Danzo will come home in 6th place, followed when Craig will take 5th. Then you have Percy finally getting past Broken Legacy for 7th place rather, and Broken Legacy will come home in 8th. Then you got Craydon in 9th place, followed by Les Pants, and then obviously followed by Hoppers, and then Waxter for 12th place. But fair play to Slow Seamus for taking out another victory. So guys, I'm just going to go through the comments quickly, I believe. But yeah, it's pretty amazing, as I say. I can't believe how well the evening's panned out. As I say, you know, it's very interesting is MRC. So if you like what you see here, guys, on obviously Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs doing MRC Gran Turismo Touring Car Championship commentary, please do subscribe and please do like. And yes, it is going to be very interesting. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the stream, and I will see you guys next week for more commentary for the MRC, the Mature Racing Club Gran Turismo Touring Car Championship. So I've been Hoppers. Without further ado, guys, thank you so much, and until next week, goodbye.